Okay, today is actually this week is week 6 for CIS 120, and we're going to go over Google Slides and we're going to go over PowerPoint presentations. So I'm going to share my screen now, and the first thing we're going to go over is Google Slides and how that works and everything. So let me get the right one up here and see if we can share screen. Here we go. Not quite. Let's go to the other one. Here we go. Yeah, let's make sure we're sharing the right screen. I think we are. Okay. Just double check here that we have the share screen at correct one. Okay, there we go. All right. So today we're going to go over presentation software for Google Slides. And you'll find that as an educator, if you're an educator, that Google Slides is really the way to go because you probably use Google Apps for education, and it integrates well with everything that you do. I prefer Google Slides for education, but for more complex presentations, I do use PowerPoint. So let's go over a few things here. First, let's go over a few basic things about making any slide presentation. What is the purpose of your slide presentation? Why do you want to have a presentation? And what's the purpose? I think sometimes we make slides just to make a slideshow, and we really need to have a learning and educational purpose for that. So is your presentation to tell a story? Are you going to just show a bunch of slides? You say, hey, this is where I went. This is a travel log, blah, blah, blah. And the audience just sits there and you do all the talking and you're showing them everything that, everywhere you went. Is it a place where you have just words for them to read? Are you just reading the words on the PowerPoint and not actually letting the audience read the words? Or do you really want the audience to read the words and not listen to you? Because usually if you have a lot of words on a PowerPoint slide, they're not going to listen to you. They're going to start reading. They think they need to read everything that's on the slides. So you have to have just a few words on the slide, and then you as the presenter actually fill in what you're trying to convey. Have a learning goal, have a purpose for each slide. What are you trying to say? Here I have a thing that says death by PowerPoint. Just gives a few things that you probably should or shouldn't do during a PowerPoint presentation. So anyway, let's go to the next slide. Now, the most ideal reason to use PowerPoint is actually just to teach. And you have to think about what are the best ways to teach, even without using a PowerPoint slide. Well, when you get up there and you're teaching, some teachers feel like you're kind of like a show almost. But that's really not the way it should be. You're a facilitator for learning, but you do need to get the students interested in what you're learning about. So have some kind of a hook, some kind of a joke, or give them something that they can relate to kind of get them started for the day. Assess what the students already know. You don't want to teach them something they already know. So you have to be clever and figure out a way to find out what they already know. Model, if you have a new skill, model what it is that you want them to do. Then somehow have them do it together and somehow get to the point where they can do independent practice and then assess if they've learned. So those are kind of the basic foundations or the basic elements of teaching a concept or a skill. And so you have to think, okay, how is my slide presentation going to follow that plan? Okay. Here's another thing about it says 1-6-6 rule in practice. Have only one idea per slide. Have the most 6 bullet points. I would say not even 6 bullet points, but anyway, maximum 6 words per bullet point. This slide has 6 bullet points. Each bullet point has 6 words, and is this a good presentation slide? I would say it's not a very good presentation slide. It has too many words and doesn't have any pictures. But anyway, here's the slide. Now what I did here is I inserted what's called a GIF file. It is a little tiny mini movie that plays over and over again. And those are good to put in your slide presentations as a hook or something to get the students interested in whatever you're talking about. So this would be a good hook. And you could have this slide first and then talk about what in the world is this animal, what is it, what is he or she doing, and et cetera, et cetera. You can also insert movies into slides. YouTube videos are really easy to insert into a Google slide because Google and YouTube have merged. Here's a good way to get an assessment is to use Pear Deck. And you can actually get a Pear Deck add-on to Google Slides. And so what you do is you add it on and you have the students actually open they can actually interact on their computers while you're actually giving the presentation here. And this gives a code that the students that join for, how they join. And then they can actually draw or type different things and insert answers in Pear Deck. They can click true or false. They can actually put here's a mathematical grid that they can do. Drag the dots to indicate if you agree or disagree, whatever. So Pear Deck is pretty good. It does cost money for the advanced features though. I like Poll Everywhere. Poll Everywhere I've been using for many, many years, and there's actually a Chrome extension that you can use so that Poll Everywhere pops up right on your Google Slides. And it's really easy to use. And for example, let's see, this one came on and it went off again. What is your favorite color? And so if you want to have the students respond, then they have to go to, they can even do it on their cell phone. They respond to pollever.com, and there's my little code there, or they can text to that address and put in their responses. So it's really fun to do Poll Everywhere. You should really try it sometimes. It's really, really fun. So now I'm going to go on to PowerPoint and learn a little bit about PowerPoint slides. So I'm going to stop my share and share a different screen here. So let's see if I can do that here. You cannot do my Zoom when you're recording. Okay. All right. So let's see if I can go here and share screen. And I believe it is here. Okay. All right. So I hope you're sharing the right screen now. Doesn't say that I'm sharing, so I'm kind of a little bit worried about this. You share. Yeah, this is it. Okay, it's sharing. Okay, good. So here's a PowerPoint presentation here, and I want to actually, can't seem to go to the present thing here, but anyway. Okay, the thing I like about PowerPoint is there's so many different templates you can use. There's just such a big variety that you can use, and I love that. And there's categories to the right-hand side. You can go to a category and you can click, and you could just go wild with this. I like the variety. Another thing you could do is you could have a PowerPoint add-in, and an add-in is where you can actually do what you do in Google Slides. It's kind of like a extension or add-on, and you can put those in. And let me show you a couple that I like to use. I use Camtasia a lot for doing pre-recorded videos for my classes, and so I have that built. I have that add-in on to my PowerPoint slides, so that after I get done, I'll actually record the whole PowerPoint presentation, and then I can edit it. I can add all kinds of things. It's really, really great. Poll Everywhere from PowerPoint. You actually download a little program there, and it will, you can actually use Poll Everywhere right inside PowerPoint, which is really, really cool. Next one here. Oh, and there are a plethora of YouTube videos that will show you how to do everything that you want to know how to do on PowerPoint, how to make quizzes, interactive quizzes, all kinds of things, a quiz game, everything. I just go hog wild on watching these. I love to watch them. Creating a survey, all kinds of things, how to show survey results, and from SurveyMonkey to PowerPoint. That's something I haven't tried, but I do use SurveyMonkey quite a bit. And I know that doing surveys or questionnaires is just like doing an assessment. So those are really important things to know for PowerPoint. Now, I think I am actually in a PowerPoint screen right here. So I can kind of show you here the add-ons that I have. It's really, really tiny, so you really can't see, but I've got my add-ins listed right at the very top bar here. And oh, here's slideshow. I should have started from the beginning here. But anyway, I love using both of these. Let me stop the share. One thing that I do with learning Google Slides or with PowerPoint is I decide what I want to do and just think, well, how do I want these transitions? What do I want it to do? And then if I can't figure it out, if I can't see it on the menu bar, I Google it. And then I find a tutorial or something that I can use to actually insert that particular feature in there. Another thing you can do is, like I said, try some of those YouTube tutorials, but there's instructions and you can just hover over the bar. The ribbon bar in PowerPoint is very powerful, and there's so many things that you can do with that. It's just really outstanding. Now, as a warning, if you make a PowerPoint presentation and then you put it into Google Slides, it's not going to work. I mean, it's going to work, but the transitions won't work and the add-ons won't work, and whatever you put in there will not work. Google Slides kind of like flattens everything so that it's not interactive anymore. Same thing with Google Slides. If you take a Google slide, you can actually save it as a PowerPoint presentation, but you're going to lose most all of the animations that you've put in. And as far as animations, I am very conservative with animations because I want people to be listening to the content of my presentation and not be watching for a fly-in or something like that. And there was a point in time where all those fly-ins and animations were really popular, and they are to an extent, but not to be distractive, okay? Another thing is the difference between PowerPoint and Google Slides is in PowerPoint presentations, you can actually insert your voice. But in Google Slides, you can't yet. They haven't developed that far. So the only way you can actually record your voice in a PowerPoint in a Google Slide presentation is to insert that presentation into something else like Camtasia, or I've inserted mine into Zoom, and then you actually add your voice or music or whatever you want. But anyway, if you have any questions, I've done a lot of PowerPoint presentations, a lot of Google Slide presentations, and thinking about one more thing. If you share a Google Slide presentation with somebody else, do not give them access to edit. You want to keep your slide presentation the same. I will be presenting at the Q conference in 2018, and I have slides that go along with my presentation. But one thing I'm very careful to do is have a view only for my share, so that anyone can view my slides, but they can't change them. It would be a disaster if I had slides and I put edit, and anybody they wanted to it could edit my slides to their preference. Then I'm coming up for my presentation, and that's not what I put in my slides at all. So that's a good hint for you, just to let you know. Okay, I'll let you go now, but thank you so much for watching. And this is week 6, CIS 120. Bye-bye now.